Yeah,
That
no,
reminds
he's great.
me of a little topic, maybe for the main podcast. I'm not sure, or maybe I'll stick it up on its own little video. Henry Cavill had a meeting with, or supposedly had a meeting with Marvel.
Ooh, with Marvel, didn't he? We're going to do a
couple of weeks ago.
Fancast.
And yeah, so I just wanted to talk to you about who do you think he could potentially play in the MCU.
Okay.
And let's ignore Hyperion, for example. I think if they did want to bring in Hyperion, obviously it's the perfect choice, isn't it? But let's imagine
Marvel
that
doing? Can you see Marvel Studios doing anything with Squadron Supreme, whether it's
it's
a
not.
movie or whatever?
They used the Flash rip-off in Jessica Jones season 2, which was weird.
The Wiz.
Yeah, they did do that. But I'm guessing that those shows aren't canon, or at the very least, the shows that aren't Daredevil aren't, and the Punisher aren't canon.
I fucking miss Daredevil so much. Want to go to the timeline where we've got Daredevil season 4 to dig into on this podcast, and that's the main topic. If we could do that, just go to that timeline. That'd be fun. Okay, so Henry Cavill, God, Wolverine. Maybe
No,
potentially.
I don't like
I don't see him as a Wolverine. He's too tall.
I don't see him as Wolverine, but he's shown from The Witcher that he has a bit more of a range than we would have thought. So maybe someone from like the the old English Marvel stories, if that makes sense.
But Captain Britain.
Yeah, so like
oh man, he'd rock
I was just about to say Captain Britain, probably the best cast that I can think of.
Yeah. Do you know what? That he'd fucking kill.
I doubt we'll ever get Captain Britain in the MCU in any substantive capacity. You're not going to get a film. You're not going to get Captain Britain film.
You may very well end up getting something of a cameo though, but you don't get someone like Henry Cavill to do.
Yeah. So if they did Civil War again, and they were like, okay, we've opened the universe up a bit more. In this Civil War, there's going to be a lot of fucking characters from the comics that you've never seen on film. We're not going to reference them again, but we just want to point out these operate in this universe now that it's become about superheroes. This universe has lots of super beings in it. These operate. We're not going to show you the films, but they're in the universe. Trust us. Just so that they can have them on screen for a fight or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's about all you'd ever get for Captain Britain. So I think it would be a shame to waste.
To waste Henry Cavill, yeah. The thing is, though, it's like, who's left? Who's left in Marvel?
That's it, isn't it? There isn't really many people. Not many people left. There's lots of monsters and stuff.
We are looking now then potentially for someone like Henry Cavill to either be a standalone villain.
I've got it, Jay. I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you.
Or X-Men of Fantastic Four characters.
I disagree. I know who it would be.
Go on then.
Adam Warlock.
You might have that.
Yeah, I think
you might have.
I think that is
yeah.
Sorry. It just occurred to me
I
forgot about that character already being in the universe, already being announced to be in a future film. I think that's the most likely outcome. I think that he's gone in for casting for Adam Warlock. I think that would be perfect casting myself.
You'd get some real Captain America kind of vibes as well. Like when the Vita Chamber opens up and there's fucking Chris Evans in there, but that thing from the end of Guardians 2 opens up and it's Henry Cavill. Yeah. I think that could be quite Yeah, I think you might have that, George.
I'm apparently not the first person to think this. I think there'd be good casting for it. Yeah, there's some fan art and stuff.
Henry Cavill's got
some horrible fan art. Can you see the stream?
I can't. No, I can't.
There is
to save my internet.
There is Keanu Reeves fan art. There is Zac Efron fan art.
Oh no.
They actually both look fine. But
do you know what? Zac Efron, Iceman. Do it. Make it happen. Zac Efron, Iceman.
I don't know.
Do it.
I think you need. I know this is a really stupid nitpick for Iceman, but I think you need someone with a skinnier head. Does that make any sense?
Henry Cavill would be good as Magneto.
I stop myself from saying, okay. Looking at this image, I'll tell you who he'd be amazing for.
Go on.
A Mega Red.
Ooh, yes. Yes, I take it. Somebody's taken his Geralt hairstyle, and yeah,
Yeah. They've
yeah.
made him Adam Warlock, but his costume is very Omega Red-esque.
Mm.
That they photoshopped him into, and I could really see that.
Already,
Looking at this photo that obviously anyone watching the stream or anyone watching this on YouTube can see, but you can't. So
I'm saving my internet, man. Sorry. I think because I got my fucking partner in there who's streaming something. I've got my phone's connected to the Wi-Fi.
yeah, so I can hear the audio
yeah.
going a bit funny on Discord when I know that you've got Windows open or something.
No, I read a book recently with Omega Red in it, actually. I can't remember which one it was. Oh, yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 50, Silver Sable. That featured.
Do you want to show us a bit of artwork?
Yeah.
For those who are maybe not as familiar with the character.
Let me get a nice.
I'll let you get a nice.
This is Omega Red. So as you can see, he's quite a big and burly man, and he has the long hair that we know that Henry Cavill can pull off. Here he is getting twatted by Spider-Man, as you do in a Spider-Man book.
Let me pull up a picture actually, because that's not the classic depiction of Omega Red, is it?
No, that's Ultimate Omega Red.
Yeah, let me pull up a picture.
Slight redesign. I don't know. Omega Red's a little bit C-list for someone like Henry Cavill. If you get Henry Cavill, you go in,
you know, Marvel can do whatever they want, can't they?
They can. Well, yeah, they can. Yeah.
Guardians, you know.
Yeah.
Being the prime example. There's really bad fan art. Really bad like fan art Photoshop of leaked Falcon and Winter Soldier episode. Omega Red X-Men Wolverine Marvel Phase 4.
I read that. I read that. I read that at the time it was going on. But the thing is, though,
by everything always. Yeah, that's such an obviously fake picture, though.
There was so much Falcon Winter Soldier stuff that I could have put on the news docket, but I just think after WandaVision, I just ignored fucking all of it.
Yeah, and we were right too, because none of it was accurate, if I remember.
No.
Yeah, so this is a much more classic depiction of Omega Red, and if I can just pull up, stop. Is that? Yeah, so next to each of that. So, you know,
don't give him a cape. Don't give him a cape.
That's for Adam Warlock, dude.
That's Adam Warlock. Okay.
Yeah, so the Adam Warlock fan art on the left and a picture of Omega Red on the right. Can you see where I'm coming from?
Yes, I can actually.
That's why you can see why I got reminded so easily of Omega Red by looking at that.
Like I just said, that Omega Red's a little bit C-list for me though, and if I've just seen Bexy Pie in the comments. You both look warm. Yeah,
yes,
we are. But yeah, Omega Red's just a little bit C-list for me. I think if you get Henry Cavill, you go in on Henry Cavill.
Fair enough. I think the most likely outcome is Adam Warlock.
Let us know in the comments below, who do you think that Henry Cavill could play in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, if anyone?
I'm sure he could play someone. It could be like how like in the Avengers we had the waitress.
Yeah.
It could be like the next Avengers films version of that. You know, it could be anyone.
My interesting bit of trivia for you all to take home with you and tell to your families tonight is that the person that plays the waitress in the first Avengers film is the voice actor for Ellie from The Last of Us. That's my bit of trivia for you.
Oh, well, I'm glad they're getting work after having so much of their shit cut from the Avengers film. Literally, you watch any like cut scene from the Avengers, and it's about that fucking waitress.
It is the waitress.
She's in all of it.
I thought that waitress would end up being Captain Marvel or something. Like there was articles. I read it.
But it was classic Whedonism, wasn't it? Like It's the family from the Justice cut.
Fucking hell.
That fucking family, man. Oh, I swear to God, that fucking family.
No,
that was the most obvious. Like, when it came out, and everyone was like, oh, so which parts do you think were Snyder and which parts do you think were Joss Whedon? It's like, everyone. There was no doubt in anyone's mind that Joss Whedon added the random Russian family or whatever.
The worst shot in that fucking film is when Superman flies by holding a block of flats, and I cringe on the inside. Every single fucking part of me cringed.
Why?
Just fucking carry it. I just hated it. I just hated it as a follow-up to fucking Man of Steel and Dawn of Justice, and then there's that. It's just... At least those first two, the quality of both of those films is debatable, right? But at least they had a fucking thematic through line, and Justice League just didn't. Do you know what I mean? Like the original one just
Let's
didn't.
not get into Justice League.
Oh, let's go. We never did an episode on it because you had the fucking the vaccine, didn't you? So
Yeah,
we never did an episode.
Well, we did.
On
it's there, but I'm not releasing it for shit.
I think you should.
So I just want to say, just on the pop-up window that I've got, where I've searched Henry Cavill, Adam Warlock. One of the recommended searches is Hyperion.
Let's do it.
But there doesn't seem. I'm having a quick look. There doesn't seem to be any.
It's just going to be a Superman recolor.
Any decent fan art. Hercules, maybe, dude.
Do you put Hercules in the Marvel Cinematic Universe though?
I think Hercules could go quite along in the, for example, the Eternal story, as it goes through time and stuff.
Russell Crowe's Hercules, mate.
Is he?
I'm sure we covered that.
I thought Russell Crowe was Ares, wasn't he?
Ares is a good shout. If he's not Ares is a good shout for Henry Cavill as well.
Yeah, actually.
I need to find the book where Ares gets ripped into.
So he's in Thor: Love and Thunder. Confirms he is playing. Which magic? Zeus. We're getting our gods confused,
yeah, okay.
mate.
It's close.
But to be fair, you're putting Zeus in. Yes, you can absolutely put Hercules in.
Well, if they're bringing in the Olympians, then yeah, then that's a good shout. Ares is a fucking great shout for Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I should have thought of that earlier, to be honest.
I've got a book up here somewhere of him getting ripped into. Not Henry Cavill, but Ares.
Although, to be fair, in media in general, I don't like a young depiction of Ares. I like Ares to be an old, beaten fucker. You know, being the god of war and everything. Not god of war, but the god of war.
What about the Sentry? Because the Sentry's the one that rips him in half in this story.
I don't... You could potentially have Cavill as Sentry, and I'm sure there's fan art. But personally... I don't think that the Void is a character that you want to introduce to the MCU.
I think Brian Michael Bendis loved him and he loved to use him, but I don't think any of us really gave that much of a shit about the Sentry. But like,
no, people like the Void more than the Sentry. I think anyway. You know, the only point in having a Sentry storyline in the comic books. Nice.
That's Ares.
That's probably that's definitely too much for Twitch. I would say that's TOS, mate.
Sorry.
No one report, please.
It's a cartoon.
But the only reason you have a Sentry storyline is so that you can have a fucking Void storyline, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I might be wrong. True. There might be some Sentry diehard fans out there, but I'm not one of them.
They don't exist. There's no Sentry diehard fans out there.
And also making Henry Cavill Sentry. I personally think maybe a bit of a skinnier dude would be better as Sentry. I think if you introduce Sentry, you don't want it to be a Superman copy character. You want it to have its own identity.
Even though that's kind of what he is.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I think that's people looking at, oh, you make this super strong. He's got an S on him, and he's super strong, and he flies. Oh, he must be Superman. Yeah. But you look at the comics as a whole, and there are fucking a million. I'm sorry, Captain America. Captain America as a character is more similar to Superman than the Sentry is. I will fucking fight anyone that disagrees with me on that one.
Captain America doesn't have the power set of Superman, but he's totally got the mannerisms and characteristics and values of
absolutely.
Superman. Yeah.
Captain America is Marvel Superman, if you ask me.
Yeah. A truth, justice, in the American way. Going back to that, just the initial pitch of a Superman's values, and Captain America's got those. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
100%. And both of them were made as wartime propaganda as well, just as characters. Yes, that's why they exist. Do you know what I mean?
I would love to see Sentry and the Void get their own film, maybe. But the problem is, I think the best film to do that in is an X-Men film a while down the line.
I want them to, when the X-Men come into the MCU, I want them to go batshit fucking crazy with it. and I want like a high school teen drama on Disney Plus as well, that just shenanigans from the school with like Kitty Pryde and Jubilee and Iceman and Nightcrawler and all the young X-Men. I want high school drama, and I want big bombastic. Let's go to space and meet the Shi'ar and the Starjammers. I want them to go balls to the fucking wall with the X-Men when they come back. No Wolverine for a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I want Wolverine versus Hulk on screen like yesterday, though. Do you know what I mean? Like. But I don't want Wolverine to be involved with the X-Men. First of all, I want Wolverine to be doing his own thing. So,
no, that's fair enough. Right. Yeah. I'm not really. I don't really care about the X-Men in the MCU for the next 10 years.
10 years? I'm dead by then.
I did fucking care. I cared so much for so long, Jay.
Evan Peters.
Yeah.
Is it?
But let's just not.
1, 2, 3, 4.